Hi, good night, and welcome to Bench Talk. My name is Jason Clark, and tonight I am joined by my fellow co-host, Mr. Hassani Evelyn, Mr. Akeem Dewar, and Mr. Wayne Collymore. Good night, fellas. How the guys doing, man?
I
All
like,
right,
man.
yes, all right.
We are
Just
like,
trying to
Good.
survive.
Bless, man.
But all
Bless,
right.
bless, bless, bless.
That's good, man. Collie is good to see you, man.
Man, yeah, I like 100 now, man. Scarce, work.
Cheers, man. I understand.
Working with some reasonable people too, so.
But I want,
Times check. Cut.
I, I don't want you say too much, so I get left
Yeah,
I
we
get
good,
left
we
out
good,
down
man.
there.
Anytime I'm free, you can pop in, yes. Anytime I'm free.
Glad to
Once
hear
I'm
that.
working, I can be on the
somebody in
show.
the comments early. They were all
Glad
say
to
good
Man,
to
love
see
the
you.
show
Yo.
too.
You
Thought
say
he
like
had
the
a
hundred,
recovery
the
from
new,
his injury.
the new hundred, the new hundred, or the new $100 bill.
Nero, how you like the playoffs so far?
Loving the playoffs actually. Loving the playoffs. The Nets are gone.
Huh.
John Morant doing John Morant things. Look at Doncic doing Look at Doncic thing. Great, phenomenal.
How you think Luca could get past the sense?
No, I don't think so. I think he's probably going to average 38, 36,
Mm-hmm.
but he probably
Mm-hmm.
can't beat them. Too much that ass. But he gonna do what he gotta do by
Okay.
himself. Yeah, he can't ask for much more.
One called Baby Bird, man.
Okay.
It's true.
Um. Well, as we would have spoke about last week, we had this more cricket this past weekend. And before we get into to the guest that we have on today's show, I want to start with our good friend Akeem Nero. I know they had two games over the weekend. They had Lords. He was playing against his good schoolmate and good friend, Mr. Xavier Roach, and he also played against UWI. So Nero, just quickly, how did your weekend go?
It was quite. It was okay. Had two back-to-back hundreds and two 5 wicket hauls.
So
I
that
get
game,
a cricket, man. I was out over the weekend. I didn't. Yeah, I get a cricket over the weekend.
you
You
didn't
be
play
able
any
to
cricket over
Kurt.
the
You be
weekend?
able to Kurt Thompson, man. Come here fabricating stories.
Yeah, I got an issue there. But yeah, I ain't.
Fellas do a lot of gym new GS, man. Fellas ain't
May I
fit.
watch the guy? May I watch the guys?
Uh-huh.
One heartbreaking performance, another nerve-wracking performance, but went 1-on-1 over the weekend should have been two.
Uh-huh.
But that whole thing goes sometimes, man.
So can you get into a little more details, man? Which one was which one did you win? A little more details, man. Come on.
Yes, but remember he had
Uh,
performed, so you ain't get Harry scoreline. You ain't getting
I
scorecard.
Saturday we had the WB. Bowled them out for 120 yard.
Uh-huh.
And we lost by 6 or 7 runs. Six
Okay.
or 7 runs. Yeah. Played play by Dewars that took UWB to the 120, whatever. And then we struggled. Slow wicket, but we struggled. No excuse. Then same thing on Sunday against Lords. We bought them up for 111. And we turned it into a West Indies chase. Needed eight for last over. And we got it with about 3 balls to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so
Collymore, you're playing any cricket?
Yes, I'm in the other division, the intermediate division. We
Okay,
won
you're
some
in
licks, man. Jafari team beat me last week,
Uh-huh.
and Maple beat me this week. Maple and Windward and Wanderers. Hammerby.
Okay. How many
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah, especially Maple.
Okay. Well,
Batting.
the
But
Bahrain there.
I right now, to be honest, just enjoying cricket, man. I enjoying it. That's the truth.
Okay.
Results for Nero and them guys up there, no.
Okay.
That's the
They
you
gonna
like,
worry
guys.
about.
You just about mentoring the next generation.
Yeah, not really next generation, cause then some of them are on my age too. Some of them in this generation, but it's just about enjoying cricket, man. Like the truth. I glad
Okay.
BCA give you some cricket. We put Jafari in farm too. Man score 40 cent, I think against me. Then next year, man, 160, and yeah, we put him on in it. We put him on in real net.
In the nick of time.
Well, similar to last week's show, we're gonna have two guests on tonight that would have played cricket over the weekend, and as Colin Moore, the name
Yes.
that.
But
Sorry, Hassani.
now I was trying to say before you start to get the intros, the viewers, all those who has been getting a lot of comments and a lot in terms of the angle from persons that are very helpless. They were very impressed in the road we were taking, and they tell me
Oh
to
yeah,
continue
yeah,
to keep
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I did get some. I did get some good reviews saying that they like this format, and as you said, the rope that we're taking on this show. So once again, thanks for the positive feedback. As we try to continue to give you guys a good show each and every week. And so like I was saying, Colin Moore would have played against our first guest that we have on the show tonight, former Barbados youth player and the current player coach of the Windward cricket team, Mr. Jafari Toppin. Good night, Jafari.
Good night.
Good night. How you doing, man?
Not bad. You?
Pretty good myself. Just want to thank you for taking the time to join the guys tonight. I'm pretty sure that after having a pretty successful weekend, such as the one that you had, and going up against one of our co-hosts here. Pretty sure that joining us.
Jess, you want to hear funny thing too? Want to hear funny thing, Jess? I dropped the money first ball off of John Ratwover.
Jesus, brothers, boy.
Change the rules, Jess, man. Man got me in the outfield. Man tell me do slick. I used to blame Nero, but slip is a funny thing, yeah. The angles, right? The angles, and you got assess how far to be and how close to be. Just you bought hit me before you know it on my shame, brother.
But Faye, but I respect you because you owned up to it first and foremost. I mean, to be honest, Nero probably by the easy somehow.
Yeah. I know you the way it is.
Yeah, I respect you for owning up to that there, Colin Moore. That's the truth.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, but I mean, these things happen.
Yeah, Jess, man. As Susanne says, again, the youth exposure, man. I don't really. They say they aren't required to keep.
Jeez. So once again, you dropped him on the first ball and you went on to score how much?
I think 40 order. Man started to smoke it, Jess. I don't know if you know Braff. You know Braff yard. Braff got a container like to the back of the yard. The back, but the fence that we just in my head some men that thought there. I never seen a boy get thought there yet. I mean flash a toy call. Huh?
So I mean like who? Like who so?
I will not disclose my teammates, I won't bruise their egos any further.
Carry on.
Jafari, like I said earlier, you are the current player coach of the Windward cricket team. And before we get into your performance and stuff like that, similar to last week, I just want to get what was the general feeling and the atmosphere around the guys when it was announced that we'll be getting some cricket this season.
I think the boys were very excited. We were training last year as well, so leading up just before the season was called off, we were doing some physicals and stuff. So to actually hear that cricket was playing this time around, the numbers came out at practice. We have a much younger squad as well, so the energy levels are really up. The boys are enjoying it as well.
Glad to hear that. As I would have mentioned earlier, as well, you're the player coach of that club. As the putting on your coaching hat now, what has it been like this season compared to like the previous seasons you would have you would have been around the club in terms of like the youngsters? You just said that you have some new faces around the club. What has it been like in that regard?
It's quite different. This will be my second year, well, first year in the tournament as actual player coach. Last year, obviously, they had a season. So the guys, in terms of respect and stuff, it goes a long way. Once I turn up to practice, everybody call me coach. As long as we're on the field, it's coach. When we come off, Toppin, Jafari, whatever they want to call me. So you can see that while we're on the field, the respect is still there. I think that's the start that everybody's looking at as well.
Okay. And just before I let someone else jump in, look at you just mentioned, your this is your first time as player coach. You just said in this tournament. Where do you see yourself? In terms of the coaching aspect. How far do you want to take this your coaching career?
I think I want to take it all the way. I started at probably 18 when I got the opportunity to go to England, Lord Gavron. Since I came back, it was at Bailey's for about 4 years. Sorry. Then went on to coaching at the Centre Excellence at Kensington.
Okay.
And then move on to the National Sports Council. So I see myself going a long way in the coaching aspect of it. I think probably that's why I'd probably take a step back from the elite division, obviously to coach and still get the playing time as well.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, gonna let one of the other guys jump in.
All right, Jafari, before we get into your knock over the weekend, I heard about one of your teammates. He's in his mid-70s or so. Mr. Chase, it is?
Yeah,
Mr. Chase, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell us
swag
about
too, Nero. With swag. My man swagger.
Could you tell us
Man
about
got
Mr. Chase
swag.
and his role at the Windward Cricket Club?
Last year it was, just practicing and stuff. Everybody look up to Chase as a mentor at the club. I have this thing set at the club now where the older guys that they come and find, or the more experienced guys, I should say, have a chat with the younger guys. So who played first class or first division cricket, as a batsman, he got hundreds, he talked to some of the batsmen. Chase was selected to do that, talking with the spin bowlers. And as a result of that, all the spin bowlers we have right now are quite disciplined. I guess Fed could talk about that as but they're quite disciplined as well.
For sure.
So, coming up to the practice games this song, we thought that Chase, although the age, it's T20 cricket, so it could hide a warm man in the field at least. So his experience in the field as well, talking to the bowlers, walking around, and he has a bit of swag to his bowling as well. So the younger
man got swag, man sweet, Nero.
That's quite encouraging.
Man consistent too.
Right.
I put right there all the time.
And for Windward, obviously there are some powerhouse teams. They see in some other groups like the Newey Farm, St. John, Cultural. They see Maple. Some of their better players are playing in the lower division. What is the objective for Windward before the competition started?
I had a chat with some of the guys. Windward has not qualified out of the T20 zone intermediate. I think probably since the season started, the T20 season in general started. So the first objective is obviously to get out the zone. We start with that, and then we can always look at other zones, other performances from other teams and stuff. But as of right now, it's just to make it out the zone, keep building on performances, and keep going forward.
Right.
Yeah, Jafari, Fed here. I noticed the year off in the cricket, Windward really transformed. You get a lot of youngsters, some signing. I see Blades, Najee, a couple of decent youngsters that would have played for St. Catherine's. What was the transition process? Was it a case that, they just decided, well, we young and we can try to stamp our own identity as opposed to just stick with St. Catherine's and try to get them back up, who are up now, unfortunately, due to circumstances. But what was the recruiting process, so to say, to recruit these players away from a big club like St. Catherine's?
Well, Blaze to start. Blaze had a season the year before with Barbados Defence Force. He had already left the club, I think, in 2019. So he came over from Barbados Defence Force last year. But the surprise packages were the same: Najee, Latrell, Greenwich. Greenwich for sure, who hasn't played in cricket in 2 or 3 years. But from a young age, Blaze, Najee, Greenwich, they tend to roll together. Jonathan Griffith, they tend to move together as a unit. So, with one person moving, then one person in cricket and coming to the club, then we tend to get 2 or 3 others from the unfortunate that we got off from St. Catherine's. But the guys are really gelling together, quick to say.
Fair, that's the market answer. The real answer is that the man know for years, man, if St. Catherine score runs, they don't really pay for Barbados. First class cricket is out Windward, so nice to you. You see, let her just pass through here when the picking wrong so man to play warm up games. Let me go and play here. And the facilities at Windward was always first class.
Yeah.
You never see that grow yet? I don't believe that.
You making sport, Nero.
Never see where yet, boss. I've heard.
Best grounds ever.
Jeez, on.
I've heard.
I think tennis court. Don't they sweet, Nero?
Obviously,
you play table tennis at lunch.
You can't go and really play tennis.
Don't they sweet, man?
Just go behind and play, but yeah.
But secondly, to Jafari, to like as Jason mentioned, you're new to the coaching aspect. Like, how is it going? Like, what was your greatest challenge so far as a young coach coming into the system, and what would be your greatest achievement so far as a young coach?
Challenge, I'd probably say, obviously age. Obviously, you have more experienced coaches as well, still in the system, who obviously are up in their game as well. So, just gotta be patient. I think that's key for me. You have to be patient. I speak to a lot of coaches, older than me. I have Sharon Campbell at work with me. I have Yama. That's a Toppin, of course. So I got coaches around that I gather information from in between. So that is just a patient game on that part of it. Greatest achievement, I would probably say, working with the Barbados on the 17 team in preparation for the regional tournament. That's the Toppin was the head coach, and Nemo Win was the assistant at that time. But I was a part of the program at Kensington probably for about 4 or 5 months, and doing the trial matches and looking at the talent that they had. And then they went on and win the regional tournament. For me, although not being a part of that group overseas or, having the boys to talk with, but throughout the tournament, the boys are messaging us, for some advice. So to see that, it was a great achievement for me.
Nice.
Jafari, I hear for one thing. I just when I see the score and fellas tell me who's coming, I want a full, cause they don't show it. Me I see the highlights, so you gotta give me and the viewers a play by play. What position you back, how you walked the wicket, how you felt the breeze was. What made you say that today is my day? The first couple of shots, like how you knew when you get to the crease, how you knew that today give me a day cash and big. And you gotta give me a break on the balls and they need fours and sixes so we could put it in proper context.
Well, I open with Najee Bishop. In regards to the breeze blew one direction. We're towards the end of the in regards to feeling, as a batsman, you obviously go out with the intention of scoring runs. But my goal was, for the team goal, I should say, was, just get with power play. We want me 50, 60 runs in power play. So you got your board at the club, you got your plans, you got your markers, So that was the first objective for me. I think it was probably after the 7th, 8th over that I tell myself, well, hey, I got a chance to cash big, because I think we were probably like 80 odd in about 7, 8 overs. So, I mean, at that stage, you could just probably free up some more as well, because you got 9 wickets in hand, because we were probably 80 for 1 at that stage. So I think from there, it just flowed, to be honest. It just flowed. In regards to the...
Pause quick. Let me take a pair. Say after 7 or 8, you was 80 odd, right?
No, the team scored.
The team was 80 odd, right?
Yeah, correct.
When it scored 230,
240.
204. So for the next 12 overs, when it score at least 180. Well, no, 160 runs. 160 runs.
But look, calculator finish.
Roughly.
That is madness. Just I did looking for man to say after the first 7 or 8, that was 120 all.
But to be honest too, Sonny,
17 power play.
17 power play.
What I have noticed playing intermediate, a lot of teams tend to have 2 core players or 3 core players with experience at a higher level. And in intermediate, trust and believe you will get 4 bad balls over. So once you're able to cash in, that start is very, very possible.
But start or not. But like hypothetically in bar cricket, we don't got players.
I was meeting it, Sonny, and it's T20. You're free. You're free. That's one of the good things too about playing that division. Is not that it's less responsibility because it's always don't matter if you're playing rounders in yard, you won't win. But you have more freedom. You're more relaxed. The environment is not as tense and a lot of pressure. Yes, you're mindful of the run rate and what's not, but you get to get in, you build yourself or you build your confidence. But my man, and these men got some good willows. Don't get tricked. Don't feel because in the minute men got stumps. Men got some good willows. So you're more traveling. But I really enjoy the cricket. Jafari, what's so far we would think about the intermediate division in terms of competitiveness in comparison to.
I just paused you maybe through his story.
Oh, sorry, but I thought it was finished. Sorry. Carry on, man. Sorry, buddy. I'm moving like my man, my guy, my favorite guy. Oh my golly.
So 7 or 8, he scores about 80.
So with that start, the momentum is always there. So it's a case where obviously me and the number 4, me being the person that was there before, I could take charge, or I could say, well, let me go and you hang around, you just work around the ball. If I do out, then you change. You have the goal, the new batsman then come around, work around, but let's make sure that somebody's at least set. So at that stage, it was quite clear what I was planning to do.
How much sixes you hit and 4s in this?
I had 9 4s and 18 6s.
And this is Windward here.
Whoa.
This Nero. This is Windward.
Windward and Sonny, to be fair, at Windward, all you gotta do is catch the ball going to that below side too,
9 4s and 18 6s.
Yeah, the ball's travel up there. That pitch good, Jafari. Who that was against again? Who that won since he was against? Carlton.
What was their
Whoa.
What was their final score?
168.
But to be honest, right, as cricket player, right, we got to the ground. Obviously, it had rained out the entire week, and we got to the ground. The pitch was a bit soft. It had some green grass, but it was a bit soft. We wanted to win the toss and have a bowl, because obviously coming off a defeat against Maple in the first game,
and
then winning against Yorkshire, we wanted to give ourselves a chance, to win again. So we didn't want to bat on a soft wicket, but luckily Carlton won the toss and sent us centre back. And after probably the first 4 overs, there were no ball marks in pitch. As soft as the pitch, I felt with your finger there were no ball marks. So the ball was sitting there. I don't know if Carlton came with a plan. Probably they would say length bowling or trying to get the new ball to skid on or whatever the case was, but they didn't adjust to the conditions, to be quite fair.
Yes, the man pumped 144 runs and boundaries. Here, let me just say that same thing here. 18 sixes and just 18
that's carnage. But we getting him out though. We getting him out, man.
Whoa.
I'm telling you.
Off how much balls it was, Jafari?
The 50 was 24. The 100 was 41, and the 168 was 61.
That's carnage.
Wow.
Oh, let's see that
And then he may get bowled out cheap too, I think.
Yeah, 41.
See? May get skittled out. May get skittled
So they
out.
get beat by two, say? They
Whoa.
get beat by two. Jesus, Lord, boy.
Whoa.
That is a
What
record
a
for
weekend.
sure.
What a weekend.
That
What a
is a
weekend.
record for sure, boy.
What a weekend. Guys, any more questions for Jafari before we leave?
One more.
I just
Y'all
want to know
3
what
and
you
1
think.
though, right, Jafari? Y'all a 3 and 1 though, right? 3
Yeah.
and 1? 3 and 1.
Yeah, 3 and 1.
Yeah, 3 and 1.
So
What's
you
the
had
qualify? I just want to know though.
Oh, the two five.
Sorry, Sandy. Don't forget my
Five,
audio a
five.
little low, so.
August.
But Jafari just want to know what you think about the competitiveness of the intermediate division, man, in comparison to the other divisions.
It could be better, but obviously with no cricket last year, I find a lot of guys are going back to England, or who went England last year had already signed 2 and 3 year contracts. So when you look at, let's say 4 or 5 players going from an elite side or first division side, that's 4 intermediate men that probably have to come up and make a number. And then you got to bring out other second division players to do that as well. So it's going to be a bit challenging for clubs who have, especially who has 2 and 3 teams for sure. Who has 3 teams for sure, elite, intermediate, and a second is going to be quite challenging. Because obviously, the top tier level, you definitely want to win that. You want to perform in that as well.
And my last question towards the aim for Windward, the aim as in the goal, the overall goal is for promotion from the intermediate division into the first division.
Correct.
This season.
That was the main goal. Before even T20 or for the cricket was talked about, the first thing that we said was we have to win the 3-day competition. As far as I understand as well, within the last 3-4 years, Windward has not been beaten in intermediate cricket. They lost first innings, but not outright defeat. And I think they are to the semi-finals, I think, for the last 2 years, 2 competitions. So, the vision is there. So you just know to execute the final plans going to that stage as well. But right now, as it stands, we trying to at least win one white ball competition. If we can get 2, that'd be great. But main focus is the 3-day because we want to get more youngsters in the club. 1, 2, we have a lot of youngsters now, which are probably pushing out much of the more experienced guys, especially in the second division, because I'm pretty sure in the second division team as well, we have about 5 or 6 players that are under 22. So that's a good sign as well.
That's good.
So it's just now, to keep bringing younger players in the club and taking that extra step to play in first division. As your colleague was saying earlier, Windward is a first class ground. So a lot of players would love to play cricket there as a home ground, but have to play elite or first class cricket.
Yeah, that is it, man. And not only that, too, fair. That said that happened with St. John culture too. Them got research. They got a lot of youngsters now, like a lot of young blood in team. And
yeah. St. John culture. All our experience too.
Yeah. Don't overlook that.
All our experience.
Yeah, but the experience ain't scoring runs. The experience just there. And the raw colleague, man.
Well, guys, we just want to thank Jafari for joining us tonight. Jafari, you seem to be in sublime form, so hopefully, that form continues, and we wish you and the Windward team all the best going forward in this season, man.
Who y'all playing this weekend?
We have Brayton
and
there's only one game.
That's Brayton. One game this weekend.
Brayton or Windward?
At Windward. All the rest of the games are home. Brayton.
That man got to be telling us, hell, fellas, we get together here early, yeah. But good luck, buddy. Be rest of the season.
All the best, man. All the best.
Yeah, all the best for all the
guys are connected as well, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks.
Right. 18 sixes. Lord have mercy.
Not Carter, but not Matt Corey. Destroy with Corey.
I date to get ball for Nah,
I might keep you feel.
Man, you quick cricket, JS.
I want to see. I would like to see full score. Can't see my ball in the figures. So you know it's got runs per over. A man might ball the first over might be 1 for 2.
Somebody have it for 60
huh?
or 70. Somebody would have it for near 70. I'm telling you.
Somebody would have gone for good set of runs there for sure.
That's a lot of late.
Yeah, for sure. Just gonna introduce the next guest now. Someone who definitely isn't no stranger to local cricket in Barbados. Former Jamaica Talawas cricketer and current UWI player as well, Mr. Akeem Dwar.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening, thank you.
Good evening. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm doing well.
Glad to hear that. Thanks for having us. Thanks for joining us. Sorry.
No problem, man. I'm delighted to be here. You know.
Yes. Well, before we get into your performance, I heard Nero said that you played a blinder you played a blinder over the weekend to set your team to put your team in a pretty good position. But Pinky, like I said, you're someone who's pretty well known around local cricket in Barbados. But can you give us a little backdrop of how you first moved over to Barbados and then eventually got into playing cricket?
For me, I came here in 2011, September. I got a scholarship from UWI, a cricket scholarship. So that's how I came across here.
Okay. And then you would have you started playing for CC. What year do you represent CCC? That was which year? 2010.
All right. When I came here, we had the Super 50 tournament in Ghana in 2011. That's the first time I played for CCC.
2011.
But before then, I'd already played in the competition for like the West Indies under 19, and I played a few first class matches before I came here for Jamaica. So I had my feet wet somewhat.
Okay. And playing cricket in Jamaica compared to playing cricket in Barbados, I hope I don't get any backlash for saying this, but the club cricket at UWI, it might be a little different to, let's say, at the club cricket at, let's say, another older club, let's say like a Spartan or one of those clubs. But you get the general feeling, and you've obviously played against these teams, so you would see like the afterlife, and you obviously would know about cricket in Barbados in general. Like I said, comparing that club cricket to cricket in Jamaica, what are some of the major differences, if any, that you can call straight off the top of your head?
I think the most glaring difference is the structure. I think there's way more structured cricket played in Barbados. There's a lot of cricket played in Jamaica, but I guess over time, the amount of cricket played in Jamaica has diminished, and the value as well, the competitiveness, and just even bringing out crowds. Because I remember growing up watching cricket, the place used to be packed. Like I grew up in Rollington Town, so we have two clubs there, Kensington and Lucas. So Chris Gale plays for Lucas, Wavy Lines play for Kensington. And along the line, you have other West Indies players and Jamaica players are represented both clubs. So that's like a derby. So it's like a big match anytime those two play. And then you have other strong clubs in the carpet area and even in the rural area as well. But over time, I guess the competitiveness and that kind of stuff, the structure as well kind of fell off. And you see it now in let's say the last couple of years in Jamaica cricket. Yeah. Jamaica have been the strongest on the first class scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess that's the major difference, the structure and all that, and the amount of quality cricket that has been played.
Okay. I can let one of the other guys there jump in. Nero, your mic is off, Nero.
Yeah, Pinky. Obviously, when I first met you or played against you, He was the big 6-foot leg spinner. Obviously, now in the latter years, you've transformed into a middle order batsman. Obviously, I watched the game on Saturday. I couldn't participate. I think he scores roughly 30 odd for 5 or so, 4, 5. When you went to the wicket,
Yeah, close to that.
close to that, and then was there any added pressure for you coming onto the wicket? Because for me, you didn't take any time to assess. Not anyone to say assess the condition. You probably was doing that from off the field, but you still played in an attacking manner, and you didn't really consolidate. What was the thought process for that innings?
I think coming at first of all, rolling up to the ground, I thought the pitch was probably one of the better pitches I had at Yorkshire. No offense, but for some of the guys, it was a bit slow and stuff like that. But once you wait on the ball, you even if the pitch is slow or whatever, you still have to wait on the ball to time it. And at that stage when I was there batting, not necessarily I was running out of partners, but I just try to keep it simple. If the ball in my area, I play low risk shot for you know what I mean, high runs, you know what I mean. So once it's close to me and I can middle it, I'll stay positive, rotate the strike, you know what I mean, not try to soak up too many dot balls and wait for the bad ball in between.
All right, based on what I've seen from you over the years with your bat, would you say over the years you've transitioned more and working more with your bat than with the leg spin or bowling?
You know, funny enough, all my life I've always been like a natural all-rounder. I could have, you know what I mean, wicket keep or whatever, but bowling leg spin was like, it was just natural, you know, and it is easier for me to just focus on leg spin and make a team because leg spinners are rare, and I was really good at it. And during like youth cricket days, I played under 19 in 2009. I was batting at number 6 or 7 for the team, so I was like a genuine all-rounder. I score runs, I score hundreds, score 50s. Well, I score 100. I score 50s in the youth tournament, a couple 50s. So I was never no rabbit with the bat. Even at local club level in Jamaica, I have hundreds in the cricket there. You know what I mean? So I was never no rabbit with the bat. But I guess I had to be honest with myself. To make a team, it's easier to make the team as a leg spinner. And it was easy for me to step off the batting a little bit and focus more on the leg spin. But when the leg spin started to disappear a little bit, I kind of just revert to my old self. I try to just bat a little bit more.
And finally, the objective for this UWI B team, because obviously I see a mixture. I see yourself, I see Shimar Holder was there, but he wasn't playing. Then I see the youngster, Johan Lane. Is Johan?
Yeah,
Johan Lane, and then some other guys. What is the objective of this UWI team for this T20 tournament?
At first coming into the competition, we try to find a balanced team because I think it's the first time we have like both teams have enough players there to feel, even though we had a lot of guys that left for England. But we're just trying to be as competitive as possible. And there are a few mentors in the team because that's mostly my role now as a veteran. You know, it's trying to fast track these youngsters into the UWI culture. You know, so that's mainly my job to get them because we have a lot of players that transitioned the last couple of years. COVID, we haven't had much cricket, so a lot of guys who are on scholarship they left, and some of them are there now. Some guys are there now and they don't know the UWI brand of cricket. So we're just trying to fast track that with them, and we just want to be as competitive as possible. We're gonna surprise a few teams because this weekend we played a couple of hard games. It made me proud, you know, to see the youngsters kind of get in there, have that UWI fight in them. We don't have a lot of big names, but once we play UWI brand of cricket, and that's the plan, to get them playing UWI brand of cricket. Hard, whatever. We got to defend 120 at Yorkshire on a 5-cent piece. Hard. That's it.
Yeah, good. Thank you, man. I know that you're on the topic of mentoring. Like I noticed the last couple of years, you know, you're playing that setup, and you do play as a mentor. Like, could you share and also like the success of UWI over the last, I would say, decade or so in Barbados local cricket? Could you share some of the secrets in terms of what is the preparation and the thought process into UE setup? Not only the top division, because even if you play UE in intermediate cricket or second division cricket, is always competitive, is always a fight. Even Sir Hillary, who people will just see as the professor, just fling that back, big sixes. So like, what is the thought process and the whole objective behind the scenes for UE? That it makes what we say quote unquote average players into ball beaters in local cricket.
I think the culture has a big part to play with that. Because when I first came in the dressing room, I didn't come in like as a. I came in with a little bit of experience, but when I looked to my right and my left, there was a Jonathan Carter, there was a Romel Currency, there was Omar Phillips, there's Floyd Reefer, Kyle Corbin. There's guys there who had more experience than me, and they had more input in the UE culture. And what we try to build, because I know the last 10 years or 11 years that I've been here, we've won quite a bit of cup. We had a few lead years, but we always go back to the drawing board and try to see how far away we've drifted from our brand of cricket and the culture. I try to bring that back. So for the last couple of years, we've kind of drifted. So now we're kind of bringing it back. But the mentorship part is always key. We always have strong voices in the dressing room. And we play hard cricket. I think the UE brand of cricket is not for everybody. You know what I mean? It's not. It's definitely not for everybody. Because as I said, some guys come there with average talent and they work hard and they matriculate into different places. They play first class cricket. They play at other clubs. They score runs. They're going overseas. They score runs and taking wickets. So that's basically it. You gotta come in and work hard. You gotta try. I don't expect you to perform like the star boys, but you have to pull your weight. And everybody understand their role, which is key, or they try to execute their role. If you fall short, once you try, that's all we ask for. 100% all the time.
And yeah, you mentioned a key name there, Floyd Reefer. You know, he's been known to be the forefront of UE's drive in terms of development. What was it like coming into the UE setup at a young age and working with Floyd from that period till now?
I think, like growing up in Jamaica, I always used to hear Floyd Reefer name because every time he played against Jamaica, he used to make the highlight reel. He used to feature in the score, where they get a big 80 or you get 100 or something. So when I met him, we had a initial conversation. I think about a couple years before I came to Caveville. You know what I mean? That was like the initial stages. I was like, all right, cool. I saw the vision from then, and then 2 years on, I got the scholarship. But Floyd has been very instrumental in my cricket and a lot of persons who pass through UE. Because Floyd plays cricket hard. He plays hard. There's no he doesn't give you an inch. If you think you have the talent or whatever, he's gonna push you to reach it unless you don't want to. You know what I mean? But that's the kind of person. Floyd got hard on the field, and he's somebody that you can actually reason with. Don't mind he play hard on the field. He still cares about life off the field for you, because you have to be comfortable on and off the field, or things have to be going decent for you to perform. You know, but Floyd is a solid individual who really got hard. He believes in hard work and discipline. So that's mainly that's what he brings to the table. Hard work, discipline, and be respectful.
Sorry, go ahead, Colin Moore.
No, you could go, Jason. I was just gonna answer that about the other and then Floyd is what we would say the face of UE, but behind the scenes, a lot of people don't know that Sir Hillary is really a driving force in the UE setup, because you would see the professor and you would hear you speak on TV, but when you really sit now, I had playing at Empire, after cricket you would hear these guys talking, because he was a former Empire, or I think, something along those lines, Empire player. So to hear the cricketing side of his brain, it's really fascinating. You had the experience of working with Sir Hillary in any aspect of your cricket time at UE?
I I've been his replacement field a couple weekends when he had to play intermediate. So, but we've had cricketing conversation. He has a very extensive cricketing brain. He knows a lot about cricket. He played in Barbados a lot, and as I say, he chose his bat around. But he's very knowledgeable about the game, and he's very competitive.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a lover of sports, but cricket is I think the apple of his eye. You know, that's where his heart really is when it comes on to sports. And he's a driving force for the whole UWI cricketing system. You know what I mean? It's part of his vision, part of Sir Frank's vision, you know, I mean, of having young men being able to study and play cricket at a high level. So Sir Hillary is very big on that.
Earlier you would have mentioned, you know, you're someone in this team now, and you kind of play like a mentorship kind of role. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you're still, you know, a pretty young fella in the cricket. You know, so I just want to know what are your current aspirations now at this stage of your career in the cricket?
I'll still play first division and them kind of thing. I think that's where the buck stops for me. But the last couple of years, I've been transitioning into coaching. I recently, well, I wouldn't say completed, but I recently had the West Indies level 2. So, but for the last couple of years, I've been transitioning into coaching. Even some days I take over the session at UWI, you know, the teams. Because some of our coaches, like sometimes Pedro Collins, who's another one of the senior coaches at UWI, and Earl Barrow, they'll go off on other duties, and myself or Kyle Corbin will run the show until those guys get back. You know, so that those experiences are great as well. You know what I mean? Being in the room, being a player coach kind of vibe, because that's basically my job now, player coach. I'll still win a few games. Don't get tired. Right, hero. You know what I mean? Because yeah, it's not something that's foreign. When I used to bowl and think I'll win probably 1 in every 3-4 games. But no, as a bat, I can pull out 1 in 6. Yeah, I'll still take a good catch. I run out somebody.
I run out.
Yeah. I still have a little thing, man.
Okay. Any more questions for Akeem, fellas?
My God, he hurting my heart, man. He hurting me, man. He hurting me.
Just was I know you got 2 teams, Pinky, but was the aim for the B team, I would say? Is it just to give the guys exposure, or you actually pushing to see if you can get a UVA versus UVB finals?
That would be great, but it's more about experience and getting them in the flow of playing UWI cricket, hard cricket. You know what I mean? This weekend was great for them, for the confidence and everything. We had 2 tight games, and I think winning on Saturday helped us to win on Sunday, because we played Spartan in the park and it was a tight game. We ended up we defended 11 off the last over, ended up winning by about 5 runs. So it was another. So I think winning on Saturday gave us the confidence, especially the young bowlers, because we were struggling bowling department. We were struggling in the bowling department at the start of the season, I think. But each game, fellas getting up to speed, they getting the pace up, especially the fast bowlers, and guys hitting the strap. They actually executed under pressure, which is good. So I hope that continues for the rest of the season, really.
Cheers.
That's it. Nero, no more questions, Nero. Well, Pinky, you know, we just want to thank you for taking the time to join us here on the show tonight once again. You know, I mean, we want to wish you all the best going forward in your career. You know, as a you know, player and a coach as well. You know, we want to wish you all the best going forward, buddy.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no
No
problem.
problem. Thanks, man.
Hopefully, I don't have to beat up Yorkshire to be invited again.
Huh?
That's strong words, Nero, boy.
We'll meet again shortly, though.
All the
Take
time.
it late.
All the time. All right, fellas. Let's
Have a good one.
Yeah, Spinky.
Good shot there, fellas. Before we go, fellas, over the past couple of days, we would have seen, which came as no surprise to the cricketing world. But yeah, we saw Nicholas Pooran being a captain, being appointed the white ball captain of the West Indies cricket team. Like I said, no surprise to anyone. But in just a few words, what are the guys' thoughts on Nicholas Pooran being appointed the captain of the white ball team?
My thoughts haven't changed much from I think we discussed it about 3 weeks ago, for a month.
Mm-hmm.
More the same. I hope that there's going forward is clear communication. Because obviously Pooran is one of those players who will be sought after all over the world. So I hope there's open communication from the player, the board, going forward, whatever. IPL, that's a no-brainer. And probably, but let's see a lot cricket at some point in December, boxing there. Those sort of things if they play Australia, etc. But it's got to be sacrificed from both parties, just. So, Pooran, I'll know whether he's white ball captain for the foreseeable future. He can't be gallivanting and play all the leagues. Or he shouldn't be expected, you understand? So if you can take on the IPL and probably a big bash, and he missed the rest and there for the West Indies, I am fine. I'm fine with that.
Fine with that.
But if not, we're just going to be recycling because he's one of the best T20 players in the world, and obviously he can. All the franchises can want him. It can basically be a situation that we've had from Gill, Power, Bravo, you name it. So that's my only thing. If the board somehow change overnight and there's open communication, cool.
Fair points, Nero. What about you, Colin?
I agree with you, man. I don't think it can change much. But I guess he's youth. And it was time for a change. And if you're looking forward, I guess, if you look at your track record when he's filling, you won a series against Australia. You challenging come to the T20 game. So I guess it was a straight swap, so to speak. But I don't think that it would be a big game changer in terms of the direction of West Indies cricket. What I would hope though is that, and I mean I can only say hope because every time somebody come in, it's always be, West Indies, this was his dream and yada yada. But 2 years or a year in, and the results ain't going the way they're going, and then it's like the franchise cricket will take over. So just hoping that this would be a case where it actually be a developmental program or a process where we would decide, well, listen, Pooran is the this is the guy that we choose to lead, and this is the direction we want to go, so we can give him X amount of years or X amount of time. And you can see the vision, because it, as I suggest to me, changing the captain of West Indies is not really, the captain is not really the issue of West Indies cricket to me. You could put Steve Smith, Nick Jace, or Virat Kohli to captain West Indies. I do not think that it would be a drastic change until you get changes from behind the scenes and from infrastructure and the way, like as Pinky now mentioned, the culture of West Indies cricket has to change in order for me to say, well, a captain would make a difference. Because even though Pooran is the captain, it's not like Pooran is a world beater. Yeah, he might score in a couple of franchises or whatever the case, but when it comes to international cricket, where these other players are sort of salt, the worth, these guys don't stand up, Jace. These guys do not match up. The Poorans, the Hatmers, they don't match up. But in franchise cricket, in the IPL, you can see that these guys are capable of playing a role once guided. So therefore, it tells me that it is deeper than just the players. It's also the mindset of the coaching staff, the mindset of the back team, the advice being given to these players, the rules being given to these players. So to me, until some of these things change, yes, you could put Virat, you could put anybody to captain. The results to me will not be a drastic change. It would not be.
Fair enough. I get what you're saying, Colin, but I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta appoint somebody.
Correct.
And as Nero said, I think like in the wrong. Obviously, you're not going to go back to someone like a Jason Holder, and Puran, he's clearly, as Nero would have said, also, when asked to step in, he's done a pretty good job, and on top of that, the guys definitely seem to, rally around him and respect him. So I mean, you could just only hope, that he has, West Indies cricket at heart. Even though he would definitely be, as Nero says, sought after all over the world. And to be honest, for some reason, I think Puran does have the interest of West Indies cricket at heart, man. I think he shows that that grit and that fight when it comes to the West Indies cricket, and that passion, I should say. So we just hope that it can spill over into some positive results. I mean, as Fred says, it's definitely not going to happen in the next series or the first 2 or 3 series. But in the long run, we definitely hope that he can be one of the driving forces that can help turn around the current state of West Indies cricket. Quickly before we go, fellas, I can't remember when we saw the news that the new England Test captain will be Ben Stokes, but I know we definitely did not speak on that. Quickly, guys, what did the guys think about that? I think it. Some people would say that it can be too much pressure on a player. It can kind of damper a player's performance. But for someone like Ben Stokes, I think that he can actually thrive under this new role. Nero clearly doesn't agree. So let me hear what the guys have to say quickly on.
I don't agree neither.
Being appointed. Sorry, England's
scapegoat again.
Simple. Just this is English.
But sorry, scapegoat again. But the thing is, Ben Stokes isn't that kind of player that cares about if you use him.
It matter.
As a scapegoat. So
yes, it don't matter. The media's back them. The media's break all of them, Jess.
Kevin Peterson,
all of them. Strauss,
so,
the media.
I don't think his performance is going to change. I think he's probably going to even take it to another level because of your captain.
Correct.
And I think all up. But Joe Root no get all up. Joe Root no was the best with the bat in the last 2-3 years, and I still did nothing.
Fair point.
The England might be much more aggressive because obviously Stokes is an aggressive cricketer. So their brand of cricket, probably the players he picks would more and more fit Joe for Arsenal. So they might be more aggressive. By any of the day, Stokes they can create a new opening batsman, a new middle order.
Yeah.
You don't understand? And we know how it goes, Jess. 2 years, a year, the Ashes comes around, Australia roll them over again. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They can bring out all field things from the past. He's the world how he's getting capped. If you know how the English media keeps it, and they don't see no different because Kevin Peterson win the Ashes. He was the sweetheart, the darling with the streaks in the hair. Brought down man. So that is different player. It's the same script, boy. Same script, Jess. And they don't see nothing different here.
Fair.
Hundreds for you all bring out catches, but it can be the same thing.
And to me too, I think that England in a similar position as West Indies, but with money.
Okay, fair enough.
In terms of, if you look at the England team in the last couple of years, is all over the shop. The test team, right? Sorry, the test team. Sorry. The test team, all over the shop, Jace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to find combinations at the top. They're trying to find, they say to drop the bowlers. They're trying to find combinations in the bowling, but it's just not working. It's just not working. And to me, what you say, scapegoat, just really and truly, what has Joe Root done? Really and truly. If you're really being honest, yes, they had they lost a couple series. But look at the previous years or you compare that, to me, it don't merit a change. It's just basically driven by the media. To me, the English media crying out was a time for change, is this and that. But just England cricket, the captain, yes, the captain will make, but it's not a case where the change of captain is a change of directions for England. England captains usually come in with a system, most of them. So to me, it might, as Nero said, it might unlock another level, but ain't neither here nor there for me, man.
Okay, fair enough. Well, before we close off tonight, guys, any closing remarks? Any closing words? Comments?
Just happy Mother's Day to all your mothers.
Yeah, I got no closing remarks, man. I just want to say to these fans and the supporters, like, I just want to thank them, because just even playing cricket, man, Hammerby and then the man after the man said, man, we doing a good job, you know, that I don't want to call it, but he says it takes some time out of his day at work, you know. He spends some time to watch the show. So he really enjoying what the guys doing, and just keep up the good work. And I don't know if I gotta say it, but I think the umpiring association needs to start a drive for young people into the umpiring association. That is all I would say on that topic for now, because that association, it needs a facelift. It needs a facelift.
Okay. Nero?
Happy Mother's Day to all your mothers. Have a great one.
Well said, buddy. Well said. And sorry. Yeah, we I'm not sure where guy Hassani has disappeared to, but yeah, as Colin Moore said, we just want to thank the guys and the viewers, each and for tuning in each and every week. And like I said, we do, as Nero said earlier, we do appreciate the feedback that we're constantly receiving, whether it be, you know, good or bad. We welcome both. We definitely learn and grow from all feedback. So like I said, thanks once again. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe whenever you do watch this video. Thank you, and do have a very good night.